And between floors, you always have the option to do a soft save, and by soft save I mean you don't actually get to load the save more than once. So it's basically like a quick save. It saves the game temporarily, and next time you load it, and that's the last time you ever get to load it, it deletes the file immediately. The only hard save you can do is when you go home and save at the comfort of your house. So that kind of prevents you from save scumming, which is one feature I really liked about this game. Now a lot was happening there while I was talking. We went up in a level. Uh-oh, this could be potentially dangerous. Okay, so our familiar is confused. He could possibly do a lot of damage to us, so I'm just gonna kind of hang back and make sure he doesn't hurt me. As you can see, he's randomly moving. He's actually trying to follow me, but the way this game handles confusion is that it randomly switches around your controls. Anywho, but as I was saying, you can see the EXP bar down there indicated by the stars. Once that hits all the way to the right, you get a level up. True to form, as in most roguelikes, once you leave the tower, your level resets for your player character. So I'll be level 1 next time I get back in the tower, but your familiars retain the level. So as we progress through the game, Sardie's going to get stronger and stronger, learn more magic moves, stuff like that. I will be a scrub every time I enter the tower, but I can make my equipment stronger over time, so that's how you really progress with your characters, with your equipment rather than your level or your stats, really. And look, oh great, so another thing I was getting ready to say was you cannot exit the tower in this game unless you have a wind crystal. That's the only way to exit without sacrificing something. The other way you can get out is by using an item called an Olam fruit, which if you give it to a familiar, you lose the familiar but you leave the tower. So you really don't want to do that unless you've used the fruit on, say, like a familiar that you hatched in the tower, because you're not going to get to keep them anyway, right? But we were really lucky to get that wind crystal early on, so we're actually probably going to survive the first tower encounter, which is kind of atypical. Normally in this game you expect to get murdered horribly your first time around, because it's that kind of type of game. Look at this map. It's probably going to lead back to where we've already been, so we'll go this way. Okay, I think. Oh, phew, that was a poison trap. That could have been dangerous, but luckily it wasn't functioning properly. Oh, we probably got one last room, and then don't know if we've already been through the elevator room for this floor. Level 3, alright. We have not. This is probably the elevator room. Yep. Copper. I don't think there's anything else in this floor. Doesn't look like it. So we'll just go ahead and go up. Nope. Ah, Cyclone. He is a wind type, so Sardie will probably fare pretty well against him. Yeah, 6 damage. That's pretty strong. If I would stop missing my attacks. 17 health. Sardie's pretty good on health. Oh, kind of walked into that. Could have been better about that. Now, as you can see right there, Sardie had an opportunity to walk next to me, but since I, what's our current lineup? Nope, he just chose to go the wrong way for some reason. I was gonna say, In this game, the familiars will follow your lineup rather than taking the opportunity to help you in battle. They prioritize being in correct formation before actually preventing the hero character from taking damage. So oftentimes if you're standing in a two-file place like this and they can't get to where they are in the formation, they just walk back and forth and wait till they actually can, and you take a lot of damage that way. But it seemed like in that instance, Sardie was just being a dick. Ah, mirror shield, great. So earlier they mentioned that in this game there are rust traps, which deplete the effectiveness of your sword and your shield if it's made of something that rusts. Mirror shields do not rust. So, and they also reflect magic. So that was really lucky that we found that early on. It also reflects your familiar's magic though, so if you use like a buff spell with your familiar and you target your hero character, it's just going to reflect it back at your familiar, which is kind of annoying. But early in the game, the mirror shield is pretty strong because you probably won't be using a lot of the buff spells. You probably won't have any familiars with buff spells until later in the game anyway. And as you can probably tell, every time you level up a familiar, his magic gets stronger as well. Not necessarily by the same amount of levels that he's gone up. It just so happens that your first familiar gets one level in his magic per level up. Some familiars get more levels per level up. So we're doing pretty well right now. Pretty surprised, past this third time around, gone pretty well. The first couple of times, I'm trapped, I can't move. That upheaval increases, as you can see, it raised the terrain around me, and I can't move, so I'm just gonna have to wait a couple turns until the trap is over with. Hazak herb. Holy scroll. Scrolls are buffs and debuffs that you can lay down on a square. They can be pretty useful, especially late in game where you want to lay down like a ward that keeps monsters from entering a room. Some rooms have only one block entrances, and then you lay it down and then the monster can't get in the room, so it just walks away. It's really useful later on when things can one-shot you if you don't have the right equipment on. Another wind crystal, great. So we'll be able to use one wind crystal to leave the tower, and then we'll have another one stockpiled for the next run, so we're not dependent on finding another one. I think we're done with this floor. Yep. Okay. Go on up.